guys? Welcome to Red Corner Boxing. You've been jamming Mr. Neutral as always. We've got two very special guests. We've got Mr. Rahokum from Punch Out Boxing, and we have got Chance Michaels from the Samp and Chase Chance Show. Sorry, I nearly said it again then. Samp and Chance Show in Canada, Vancouver. So thank you, lads, for joining us. We are here for a prediction show on Fight Week of Joe Joyce versus Filip Hrgovic. It's a good fight, heavyweight division, April 5th, co-op live in Manchester. It was not the original opponent, which was Dillian White, of course. But this is what we've got. The Croatians only lost the one fight. We all seen it. It was Daniel Dynamite Dubois. Joe Joyce has lost 3. Twice got cleansed by Zhilei Zhang. And let's see what you guys think. Shall we start with the new guy, Mr. Chance? What do you think on this one, brother?
Well, I'm looking forward to this fight. This is make or break it for Joe Joyce. He's lost 3 out of 4, as you just said, 2 via knockout. He's 39 years old. He's known for his iron chin and pushing people forward, coming forward, backing you down with his jab. But Flip is younger. He's more technical. He's 7 years younger. I think youth plays a part in this, and just Flip is just a better technical boxer. I think he's going to catch Joyce slipping and crack that chin. It's like cracking an egg. Every time you crack the egg, eventually it opens up, and I think Joe Joyce has lost that iron chin. I see Flip stopping him by round 6. Take it away, boys.
That's a fair call, Chance. Do you believe that Joe Joyce is a little punch drunk as well, mate? Because over here in the UK,
Absolutely.
A lot of people think he's definitely took a few too many smacks to the chops. He's definitely a little bit stuttery with his words. He's not the same Joe Joyce who beat the likes of Dubois, who beat the likes of Parker. He is not that guy anymore, is he? Let's be honest. He's not the juggernaut anymore.
No, he's not. He's going against El Animal and Filip Hrgovic. So, I mean, I hope I'm cheering for Joe Joyce. I want to see the old guy win. I want to see him turn back the clock, but my heart's saying Flip's just too young and too skillful. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Rahokum, what are you thinking from Punch Out Boxing, my man?
You know what? I think both fighters, there's been a few myths about them. Joe Joyce, he had this reputation as being super durable, but if you look back, even in his amateur career, he'd been dropped and stopped. I think against mid and low tier guys, he used his face to block punches. But at the highest level, at heavyweight especially, it was inevitable what happened against Zhang would eventually happen, especially as Chance said at his age. As for Filip Hrgovic, I never saw what people in the industry saw. And by my own admission, I haven't got a great eye for the technical subtleties of the sweet science. But fighters that have been in there with him have said, actually, you know what, technically he is exceptional. If anyone's iron-chinned, it's probably more Hrgovic, because you look at the left hand he took off Zhang and the right hand he took off Dubois, punches which have flattened virtually everyone else. I mean, no one's put a dent in him. But Hrgovic, he looks really ponderous and plodding. So, against Dubois, he ran out of gas. Couple of fights, he just doesn't seem to be able to go through the gears. But his technical ability seems to get him through. Well, it didn't against Dubois, of course. I agree with Chance. I think that will be probably the factor there. But Hrgovic, again, the myth around his name, he's not like some ferocious puncher. You get me? Like I said, I think he's somewhat plodding and ponderous in there. So I don't see him getting Joyce out, even a greatly diminished one. Especially, again, he's coming in late notice. Will we again see him with questionable conditioning? I think he did an interview with Box Nation where he actually alluded to the fact that he's going to have to manage the rounds, which is a hint that maybe his gas tank ain't going to be like on point again. So I see him using his technical ability to outbox Joe, which isn't particularly hard at that level. I see him running away with it. But, Joe Joyce, what he does probably still have is a good engine for a man of his size. So I could see maybe late on him trying to put the cosh on Filip and test his own conditioning. And maybe Filip will, by the end of it, again, be sort of hanging on to hear the final bell, which I think he'll do. I think it will be a Filip Hrgovic clear points win.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that, mate, to be honest. I think Hrgovic is definitely going to be the livelier man. Like Chance already said, he's the younger man at 32. You got Joyce is 39. Joyce, like I said, sounds a little punch drunk, looks a little punch drunk.
Yeah.
He's not been the same since Zhang took his soul. He took his soul twice, as we know, 1 TKO, 1 knockout. I don't see anything here other than Hrgovic's win myself, and I think it's going to be a lot easier than what you guys have said. I think Hrgovic knocks him out and probably within 4 or 5 rounds. That's just my opinion, of course, but I can just see Joyce coming out, throwing what he's got. He's got that level. If he catches Hrgovic, he could knock him out, of course. But for me, I just think Hrgovic is going to be just too much for him. And as again, he's just going to get his chin found out and he's going to go to sleep. Mr. Neutral, what's your thoughts on this one, mate? Has it changed since the last one we done on Boxing Media Hub?
Yeah. There's many factors involved in this fight. And a lot of that is inactivity. Joe Joyce hasn't fought since Derek Chisora last year. But even further back is Filip Hrgovic since Daniel Dubois. And how much is Daniel Dubois took out of Filip Hrgovic? He broke his jaw, he beat him up, and since then he's took a year out of the game, over a year, coming back into this fight. So I'm like that about, under normal circumstances. But let's talk about normal circumstances. 2020 to 2022, Joe Joyce was on a 4-run knockout streak. It was a wonderful night. Daniel Dubois, Carlos Takam, Christian Hammer, and Joseph Parker, no less. Yeah. And Joseph Parker, no less. So until meeting Zhang and that knockout, which, styles make fights. He had 2 good big fights with him. But also, Filip Hrgovic had a very dodgy fight against Zhang. I thought he was very lucky to win that. And he was active at the time. He was in his prime at that time.
He was a boogeyman to his extent, weren't he? People were scared of Hrgovic back then.
So a less than convincing performance against Zhilei Zhang. And then gets his jaw broken against Daniel Dubois, who Joe Joyce had knocked him out. So you can never triangulate this thing. This is about power. And both have the power to hurt each other, but for knockout power, stunning power, I think Joe Joyce has that George Foreman effect when he punches. He's got that thud, that stunning punch, which is, served him so well on that run-up before losing
that old man strength.
Exactly. 39 years of age, he did go the distance with Chisora, and look where Chisora is now. He's the IBF contender to Daniel Dubois. So it's all come in circle for me, these fighters fighting at these particular stages in their lives. And I'm not as convinced as Jams is that this is clear cut. I'm more leaning towards what Ra is saying, that this fight goes the distance, that Joe will pace himself. And if you noticed in a lot of Joe Joyce fights, he's the one that's pressuring. I think he'll adopt a different strategy to compensate for the lack of calm, which Ra was saying, and use his head here, because Filip Hrgovic, for me, is not coming into this fight pre-Daniel Dubois or even going back to pre-Zhilei Zhang. So it's a mysterious one for me. I wouldn't like to pin it. It's 50-50. But I hope Joe Joyce does it for Britain. I hope it for him. He's a lovely lad. He's a nice man. And he's done everything in boxing. He's been the British, European, Commonwealth, WBO and interim. And he's got a decent resume for the limited time since he turned professional in 2019, I think it was. So I think he's done a tremendous job. I hope he wins, but again, I do take into account just how dangerous Filip Hrgovic is.
One thing I forgot to mention.
They were both at the 2012 Olympics together as well, weren't they? They're both accomplished boxers in their own right.
Joe Joyce won that. He won a decision over Hrgovic in the amateurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're
They
both
fought
accomplished
before.
boxers in their own right, aren't they? So, like, you know, you can't take either man lightly. It's just the only reason I'm going Hrgovic is because of the way Joe Joyce sounds and acts at the moment. A lot of boxing pundits say the same. He does look like he's took a few too many smacks to the chops, mate, and he just doesn't look himself. The Joe Joyce like, Zile Zhang stopped Hrgovic in a round or two. But
And his
he's not that same man anymore.
Yeah. And his reflexes have slowed down. If you watch his last fights, his reflexes are, I don't want to say shot, but he's not the same Joe Joyce of a few years ago. Age catches everybody. Father time is undefeated.
That's true.
So,
yeah,
not saying he can't do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Filip Hrgovic has obviously got youth on his side. He's only 32.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
the one defeat as well.
And if he comes into this fight strong, it could be well what Jam says. It could well finish early, but I've got to take into account that Daniel Dubois defeat, what potentially it could have done to him mentally. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and and go for a close Hrgovic win on points. That's for me anyway.
Yeah, so everyone's given their predictions then. Anyone got any final thoughts on this fight before we wrap it up on the heavy impact card at the Co-op Live in Manchester on April the 5th?
May they both go home safe and well.
As always, brother, as always.
Yeah, I'm excited for this fight. Everybody, if you weren't thinking about watching this fight, watch this fight. This might be the last fight you see Joe Joyce in. Hopefully not. So everybody watch this fight. It's going to be exciting. The best man win.
And there'll also be a watch-along live, of course, on Red Corner Boxing. Me and Mr. Neutral. And if Chance, if you want to join us for it, you're more than welcome.
I'll be there.
If you're not at the show, brother.
That's bath time at that time.
It's boxing time, isn't it? He'll be busy at the shows.
He makes me laugh. He's on his phone in the bath doing spaces and stuff. But good stuff. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at Red Corner Boxing once again for our prediction show. Been great fun having you. Jams, see you out, mate.
Yeah, thank you to Ra from Punch Out Boxing. Thank you to Chance Michaels from the Samp and Chase show. Chance show. I've done it again.
Like and subscribe.
Please check him out on his channel. Check out what he does. Check out what Punch Out Boxing does. Subscribe to both. Follow Jam Boxing Chat and Mr. Neutral on X. God bless everyone. Have a great week, and let's see you for fight night Friday, Saturday, Sunday. God bless.